Well, I'm going to talk to you for about just 10 minutes. We kind of set aside about 10-minute increments to kind of cover several topics. And so the one that I have is SWR, it's Spell to Write and Read. And we do that in our K through 6th grade program. And it's an integrated phonics-based program. So do we have that? Do we have something up on the screen that we can show? I want to show you this is the materials that your that your teachers have in class. No, there should be one, maybe it's in that other order and I stapled mine wrong. Is there another one that has books on it? Nope. Yeah, that's the one. Sorry, I guess that's how it works. So your teachers have this book in the classroom. I'm just going to pass it around. This is their spine that they're working from. And I am not only a teacher here, curriculum coordinator here, but I'm an endorsed trainer for Spell to Write and Read. So I'm very passionate about this program. It's logical. It's phonetic based. They also get, I didn't put them in here, but they get a batch of phonogram cards. They get a set of rule cards. And I'm just going to keep passing these around so you can kind of see what it looks like. I don't have a red primary log. It's red and it's a little bit smaller than this for K through 2. And then our 3 through 6 have these black logs. They are currently back ordered beyond back order. I ordered them at the beginning of June and we're still waiting for them. So we've come up with an option that's in the back of our book that the older kids will work through on this. And I heard from the publisher last night. They've been working 6 days a week, all day, trying to get all these things. They've had more orders than they've ever had before. I'm going to pass that around. So they build, so they're learning reasons for spelling. It's an integrated program. So it's together. You can have these books. You can order them if you want to, but obviously, since I'm telling you it's back ordered, you may not get them right away. But you can order them if you want to somewhere online. The ones that you're going to need also need to know about, can you go back to the one with the pencil on it? Okay, so I showed you black log, red log. The red pencil was on your supply list, the Ticonderoga one, so that they can do some of their red pencil in their charts and references. I recommend a white eraser because it erases better than the pink one and doesn't leave that pink line, and they don't erase through the page. So if you want an extra resource, that. And then finally, for parents, I want you to have the app on there. We didn't buy cards for all the students simply because sometimes cards don't make it home and back, and we thought that would be a lot of work. So we asked that you have the app for a Spell to Write and Read app. And it looks just like that little picture, that little icon up there. And I think it's 69 or 99 cents for one type user, and then maybe $4.99 for the other one. And it's a great way for them to be able to review their phonograms at home, because that's one of the primary legs that we have in this program. And then the rules, and then the dictation. So dictation is what they'll do in the classroom. That's where the teacher will introduce why the word is spelled that way. And from that spelling, they'll have a multi-sensory approach. So they'll hear it. They'll talk about the syllables, so they'll verbalize that. They'll do a finger spelling process to show you which sounds there are, and then eventually they'll write it. So the last thing they do is write it and see it. That's last. I can't emphasize how important it is that they see it last. So when you're at home and you're working on practicing their spelling words with them, don't ask them to go write their words 10 times as practice. Repetition doesn't always mean they get it, okay? And whenever I have made that mistake early on, and I'd say, I want you to write, cat 10 times. They write C, 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 A, 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 A. Did they write it 10 times? Yes. But did they learn that word? Probably not. So what I want to do is encourage you to play some games with them with their spelling words. Bingo. I know of a family, they put the phonograms on the wall. They just made them out of note cards, and they put them on the wall, and their kids had Nerf guns. And she would say the sound, and they would shoot the sound. So you could do Nerf guns. My kids have jumped on the trampoline and spelled their words. They needed to, stretch and do, so do that. I've also done things where they had a plate of pudding, and they would spell it on the pudding, and then, eat that, as long as they don't eat too much pudding. Your teachers also have an extra resource. It's called an enrichment workbook, and it goes with every single list. And so sometimes they'll send you home with some sort of worksheet that can be an enrichment too. But I want to encourage you to think about different interactive ways that you can help them to learn that. Twister. Amy gave me like 4 old Twister things. So we wrote the phonograms on the Twister, and then we said, put your hand on boom, then they had to do that. So it's a way to interact with those. So I want to encourage you to do that. Some of you are like, I'm not creative, I don't know. But your teachers have in that brown book at the bottom all kinds of extra activities to encourage you with. So do that. There is one with a brain or a character on the, right there. Okay. So where the yellow is speech. That's where the brain is engaged in speech. Where the off blue up there in the far corner is where sight is engaged. The bright blue is writing, and the purple is hearing. So the way that we're engaging this program is they're getting all of those. We're not just doing it one way. So I want to encourage you to figure out different ways that they can engage with those words, because that's what we use as a base for reading. Okay. We also do K4 does Danielian handwriting, and our K5 on up are doing cursive in our program. So we're introducing those. We have a lot of oral in that K4, K5, 1, 2, and that's on purpose. We're not trying to overwhelm them with all kinds of writing. We want them to have some oral things. One of the things that we're doing is we're having them, when we read a story to them, we're asking them questions so they can tell the story back. But we're not just asking them to tell the story back to us, we're wanting them to say it in complete sentences. 3 little pigs, where was it? Golly. Do I have my water over there? I don't want yours, sorry. So when they tell back the story, like we'll say, if there was 3 little pigs, where was the 3 little pigs? Which house was he in? Straw. Encourage them to say that in a complete sentence. That's pre-writing skill. Okay, so when you're reading stories at home, ask them what's going on in the story. Let them retell the whole story, even blow by blow, because they're synthesizing that information, and then they're beginning to put it in complete sentences, and that's a great way to lay a foundation. So, spell to write and read. I hope that gives you just a little bit of an overview. Occasionally throughout the year I do trainings for teachers and for parents, and so maybe I'll offer one here again. I think I offered something last year, but maybe I can offer it again if there's interest.